This is my kind of baking recipe, lazy. Anything I bake is lazy, and I'm proud of it. Hey, it's Caesar with Food52, and today I'm gonna show you how to make my coconut and pistachio cream pie using the Vitamix Ascent X5. So I'm gonna start with making our shortbread cookie crust. This comes together super fast. So here I have my shortbread cookies, and I have some sugar. Always a pinch of salt, anything you do baking wise. I'm just gonna go ahead and pulse it. I'm gonna stream in our butter. Oh, this looks perfect. Cool. Our pie crust is exactly where we want it. You see how it kind of just stays together when I pinch it together? This is perfect. Just gonna press the pie crust down, making sure the bottom of my crust is even. And then once I'm happy with the bottom part, we're gonna press. You use this part and just press against the sides. So this is my little love letter to those diner pies you'll get late night. Kellogg's, Triple Decker, and Greenpoint, like these are places I grew up going to actually. Used to cut school in Kellogg's. So now we're gonna pop this into our preheated oven for around 8 to 10 minutes. We're just gonna partially bake this. While that's going, let's start on our filling. All right, so one of the stars of this pie is coconut milk. And of course you can buy canned coconut milk, but it's literally night and day. Homemade coconut milk and the stuff you get in the cans, you can taste it. So here I have a brown mature coconut that I'm just gonna crack open over a bowl because there's still water in there. You can drain the water if you want, but you don't have to. So with the back of a heavy knife, I'm just gonna tap along the equator of the coconut. This can get messy. Nice, all right. So I'm pretty lucky with this one. The meat just came right off, which is not always the case. And then with a spoon, for the part where the coconut is still attached to the shell, just start prying off. My grandfather taught me how to open a coconut. I remember being so fascinated by just like shaking the coconut and like hearing the water inside. All of this coconut water, don't throw it away. Strain it, save it for a later use. So I just gave my coconut flesh a little rinse. I'm just gonna break it apart. You don't have to be too precious with it because the Vitamix is gonna do the work for you. I'm no pastry chef. So to your coconut flesh, just some very hot water. I just took this off the burner. All right. Now we're gonna set this to the non-dairy milk program. All right. Our coconuts and hot water are all blended together, and the smell that's coming out of this is so nice. And it's that scent that's so hard to get from canned coconuts. With a fine mesh sieve with some cheesecloth over it, I'm gonna strain our coconut milk. All right, we're just gonna give this a good squeeze. All right, so let's move on to our filling. First things first, we're actually gonna go ahead and make our own pistachio butter. Here I have some roasted, unsalted pistachios. Lid on. And I'm gonna go to the nut butter setting. And if you're a little bit away from your desired consistency, there's this plus 15 seconds button just to give it a little extra help. So I'm pretty happy with where I am now. So now we're gonna add the rest of our filling ingredients. So we've got eggs, granulated sugar. Here I have tapioca starch. So this is what you'll find in boba tea, the boba made of tapioca, which is also cassava, yuca. So that's gonna go right in. To this, I'm also gonna add a little bit of coconut extract, just really to push that coconut flavor forward. Got vanilla paste. I'm always really generous with my vanilla. Here we have our homemade coconut milk. You can see I'm not being precious. I'm not like, you know, putting things one at a time, giving it a blitz. It's all gonna go at the same time. Some melted butter. And of course, a good pinch of salt. All right, I'm gonna go medium speed. And give it a rip until everything is well incorporated. Give it a little help. The color on this is crazy. And this is natural pistachio color. There's no food coloring. It's really hard to get this with the store-bought stuff. I have my pie crust. You want to let it cool for a little bit. You don't want to put your custard into a hot pie crust because then you'll kind of get scrambled eggs. All right, we're gonna pop this into our 350-degree oven, anywhere from like 50 minutes to an hour. The top will brown, which is what you want. All right, so our pie has come out of the oven and I just let it cool for a few hours. You could even do this up to overnight, pop it in the fridge. That's really gonna ensure a nice clean cut. Just gonna add our cream. And I also just like to do a little bit of vanilla paste in the whip as well. You could also add a little sugar. I think the pie is sweet enough without it, so we're just gonna do heavy cream and vanilla paste. So since I'm doing this pie diner style with the really tall peaks of whipped cream, I'm using a canister. If you want something that's more like spoonable, ploppable, you can make your whipped cream in the Vitamix as well. It's like my favorite thing to do, actually. Every kitchen should have one of these. I'm nervous. You can't mess this part up. Diner style, let's do it. So I'm just doing a few like tall, I don't know, rosettes, you can call them. I mean, not bad. Can you imagine walking into a diner at 2 in the morning, seeing that? I have some extra pistachios, so I'm just gonna give it a little rough chop. I'm gonna use my big coconut knife for this. Give these a little sprinkle. Just to let people know what they're about to get into. I also love when you can see like the little purple part of the pistachio. I mean, get crazy, put as much pistachios as you want. All right, I'm stopping. Here I just have some flaky salt. Just give that a little sprinkle over top. Not bad for the first slice, let me tell you. All right, tasting time. The coconut milk and the pistachio work really well together. The coconut milk is floral, the pistachios are obviously really earthy. The shortbread cookie crust ties it all together, and it really couldn't be easier than just making it all in the Vitamix. I'm a lazy baker, and this came together in no time. I'm also a lazy cleaner-upper, so luckily this thing has a self-cleaning feature, so I really don't have to do much. All right, and that was my coconut and pistachio cream pie, diner style, using the Vitamix X5.